Hi everyone, how are you? Welcome back to the Momanager Files. I'm so glad you came back to see us. So I told you in our first video that I would be doing this channel with one of my really great friends, Adina. So ta-da! Here she is.
Hey!
This is Adina Sutton. She's
Yes.
amazing. She's from Adina Did It Studios, which is where she is a hairstylist as well, just like myself, which
Yes.
is how we met each other, was we actually got the opportunity to work together for a little bit and realized quickly that we were putting each other's lives for a lot of other reasons besides just being great partners at work.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
right, so we both have some amazing kids. I've already told you all about mine. So I'm going to kind of let you know about it, let Adina tell you about herself and let you know what we're going to be doing on this channel from now on. So Adina.
Hello everybody, thank you so much for tuning in and watching my friend Julie here give you guys a little bit of the behind the scenes of being a momager. So like she said, I'm Adina Sutton. I am a hairstylist, a choreographer, a radio host, a model.
You know, just a couple things.
Just a couple things,
things.
do a little bit of things. But what's been so awesome is that my children have been watching me do these things, and my daughter has fell down or has walked down the same path. So her name is Patricia-Ann Sutton. She is 7 years old. She's a dancer. She's a model.
She's a Miss Thing.
She is a Miss Thing. She is a young radio host as well. And then we have Adina Sutton, who is total opposite from her. So my son is more of the introvert. He is into STEM club at school. He's into mathematics club, but he is an athlete as well. He plays baseball, he plays football. He's dabbling in basketball right now, but he is also a radio host as well. So.
And then your husband also dabbles in the music business as well, right?
Yes,
so tell us a little bit about that. Because you guys are kind of our parenters together.
Yeah, parenters. I like that.
There you go. Make it up as we go.
There we go. That's what hairstylists do anyways. We make up our own words anyways. So yes, my husband, John Eric Sutton, he dibbles and dabbles in the music industry and helping artists and developing them. But he also is a sport fanatic as well. So you will catch him on the sidelines coaching football, baseball, basketball, whatever it is. So.
Yeah, and her husband, Eric, has helped my daughter when we were first learning all about this music business. So that advice was invaluable. So we were so happy to have that in common as well. So we started talking about when we're at work and the people we encounter and the comments you get about being a momager and about the connotation that comes with that. So tell me a little bit about your thoughts on that, because I was saying earlier how it's good and bad. But what is your thoughts about that?
It's definitely good and bad. As far as like the positive side goes, to any momager out there or any parent out there that's managing your kid, do what you do. Like just block out everything that everybody else is saying, because at the end of the day, nobody knows your kids like you.
That's right.
And when you are a parent that's super involved and you know what your kids need, you know what they don't need either. You know what does not work for them, and what might work for the other doesn't work for everybody. So so that's one thing that I like to put out there.
And having your own experience and expertise in the industry, why hire someone to do the job that you can do yourself?
Exactly.
I've been down that road a little bit, and so I can smell out a snake pretty quickly.
Right.
So who's better to smell a snake out for your child than for yourself, correct?
Right. And then you think about all the crazies out there, right? Especially like all the stories that are popping up now. There are people out there that we trust just because they're titled, just because of their expertise, but then they are abusing our kids. So if you just take the time out to learn the information that you need to learn yourself, then you can be there for your kid. And when you're ready to hand them off, you're handing them off trusting and knowing who you're handing them off to, than when you come in and you don't know nothing, so you're just trusting everything that somebody says because they're an expert.
I think when we started this journey about a year ago, my instinct was I wanted to learn everything I could learn about this business. And so I've had people say to me, why are you so involved? Why are you doing so much? Like, don't you have a full-time job? Yeah, I do.
Right.
And now I also have a second full-time job because I want to learn everything I can so that I can't be taken advantage of, nor can she.
Right.
Just like when I talked about my son who was recruited, which you may be in that boat at some point. You know, my husband took it upon himself to learn everything about that process, so we knew what to say, when to say, and how to say it, and get the best results for him. And really, what is the difference, like in the arts, than it is with the sport, where everyone deems acceptable to be really involved? So, see, she's fixing my hair because that's what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Friends. Fix each other's hair. So, part of being a great momager is you get the opportunity to go on some really great trips and do some really great events. And you know, rather than setting your kids off with other people, you get to go with them. And so I would much rather be the one there with my kids on doing great trips and great events. And that's one of the things we're going to do for you guys. We're going to bring those events live. We're going to stream them live for you. We're going to put videos up so you get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly behind the scene, because it's not always pretty. But Adina just got to do something really amazing with her whole family because of all the great things that their family does together with their radio show that they work on. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So the radio show that we're on is called the FlaVore-Aide Kids Playhouse Radio Show. And it airs on WOKB1680, which is an AM station here in the Central Florida area. The station had been nominated for a Stellar Award. Let me back up a little bit.
A Stellar Award?
Stellar Award, yes. So the station is an inspirational station, meaning it's very positive, family-oriented. You'll hear a lot of gospel music on there. So the Stellar Awards is the highest-ranking gospel award show, period. So Kirk Franklin's on there, Yolanda Adams. I mean, any gospel legend that you can think of will be part of that show.
So how did your station get there?
So this was the third year that our station was nominated. I mean, there are hundreds and thousands of radio stations like across America. So there's some sort of voting process, and we were put on the ballot. So like I said, our third year in a row we were nominated, and then our show was chosen to receive the award if we won. So what that meant was we got to go to Vegas.
How cool is that?
Yes.
So anytime you want to criticize a momager.
Hello.
And didn't you get a designer to design a dress for you?
Yeah!
Tell me about that. And we're going to show you those pictures because they were absolutely gorgeous. So.
Yes. What's so awesome about everything that we do, a few years ago, I got to walk in a runway fashion show in Atlanta for a designer called Niraj Khan, guys. And she is absolutely amazing.
I mean, her dress was gorgeous.
Yes, she is a celebrity designer. So she designs for some of the Braxton sisters, Toni Braxton, if you guys aren't familiar with them. And so I seen the dress. It was actually just a shirt, and I am very out of the box. Like, if it's something that nobody's gonna wear, I'm gonna wear it.
I'm very in the box, and she's very out of the box.
Yeah. So I saw it, and I was like, can you make this into a dress? And she was like, yes. And it was absolutely phenomenal. And I felt like a celebrity.
The purple was so your color.
I'm not going to lie, because she came to our hotel room. She fit me. Like, she made sure it was all good.
She went to Vegas also?
She actually lives in Vegas. So she lived in Atlanta, but she moved to Vegas. I had no clue. So I thought what's the delivery fee? How long it's going to take? She was like, no. When you get to Vegas, I'll come to you.
Look at that.
Celebrity status.
I love it. And we will definitely show you pictures of the dress just in a little bit. So stay tuned.
And so it was awesome because she met Patty, and she absolutely fell in love with Patty, and she said that she had a couple.
Did Patty do her model walk?
Patty's been in a bit of retirement for modeling. She wanted to give it a break, but when she saw the beautiful dress that Niraj Khan made for her, she came out of retirement real quick.
Did Patty have one as well from her?
Yes, so Patty Patty had one too. Yeah, it was just totally phenomenal. As we walked around, people were stopping us, taking pictures with us. Like, they definitely thought we were somebody's, and I was like, yeah,
what a great opportunity for you and your family. Like, if nothing else, that you got to go there together and have this great experience together doing something that all four of you love to do.
Right.
Like, how many families get to say that, and how many times do we try to find a way to, like, connect with our kids on a great level? Like, I know that I have found in this process one of the greatest things is connecting with my teenage daughter on a whole different level that I never expected, because it's really hard raising daughters, and it's hard. You bicker, you fight.
Yes.
But we got to just take a trip to LA where we filmed 2 of her music videos, which one is out, one's on the way out, and that was such a phenomenal trip with our independent label that we're using, Touchdown Records. And same thing, we got flown out there, we got to be there, and for me to be with her, to be able to not just guide her, but to emotionally support her through that process, and then to see it. Like, can you imagine if your kids went with the FlaVore Kids to Vegas, and they were with somebody else and another host, and you didn't get to go?
Yeah.
Like, who wants that? No. So being a momager has so many ways of paying off. Like, you get to be able to enjoy all these super cool things with your kids,
And I feel like we're learning how to have balance with our kids, as far as I feel like sometimes kids are just so used to hearing their parents tell them what to do, when to do, how to do it, and you just need to do it and get it done, and we're in our regular routine, and being a momager gets you out of that routine.
So that was a good point. Another talking point that I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about was, I think that some people think that seeing some of the things that we do with our kids or other people do with their kids, the famous momager Kris Jenner, and everyone talks about how she runs all their lives, but let's be straight here.
Yeah.
Her daughter Kylie was the first billionaire to have $1 billion company with no advertisement and no support in that way because of what her mom helped them build. So whether you believe in it or don't believe in it, and the way they did it is not something I aspire to, but it's something to be in a little bit of awe of, that they were able to be a part of it. But what she taught them is how to build empires by themselves and do it, you know, with the support of their family. And I think that I often get, and you probably do as well, like, do you ever get said like you're doing too much?
Oh, all the time.
And I feel like what I'm doing is I'm trying to step back, I'm trying to teach, and then I try to step back and let her take the reins, as we did with my son. When they stop doing that, I stop teaching. And that's the journey. That's the hard part, because then you get excited and you're in, and you want to get it going, and I want to, like, come on, keep going. And they want to break for a little bit, and I feel like that is our job. That's where mom steps in. That's where a manager that you hired would have stepped in and push with these kids who want to just be kids sometimes. So I feel like what I'm able to do is I can see that, and I know when it's needed, and we can take a step back and take a breath, and I can go back into mom role, which is what's needed sometimes. So I think that, you know, the role as momager when they're minors is so important. If you have the time and the passion and the ability to jump in and do that, you should. And don't care what anyone says about you or how anyone looks at you. Like, if it's something that your kid's passionate about, whether it's singing, dancing, acting, those are, you know, the three I think most people think about. But whether it's baseball, football. So do you have any last words of wisdom before we head out today?
I would say that one thing that I've heard a couple of times, and I just want to make it really clear, but are you living through your child?
Oh my God.
Are you living through your child?
No.
Like, are you trying to? And for me, my answer is no, because I'm doing exactly what I want to do in my life. Like, I am exactly where I need to be. So no, I'm not living through my child, but I am giving my children opportunities because I see their talents.
Exactly. I think that people who live with their children, because there are those people, are the ones who maybe kids aren't into what they're doing. And their kids are doing whatever it is that you want to do. Like, maybe I wanted to be an actress when I was younger, so I'm having my act, or I want to do pageants, and I was a good infant, so my daughter does pageants. I could never sing, nor would I hurt any of you with singing, so it's not my thing. But when she presented it, then I'm here to support her, and that's the difference between pushing your kids and living vicariously through them. You know, how many people do you know kids play sports longer than they ever want to because their parents would be disappointed if they stopped? I feel like both of my kids have always known, if you're done, I'm done. No problem. No problem.
And it's good to have a balance, because sometimes, like, the kids are tired, you know, like, they'll complain, I don't want to go to practice today. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. So those are the times where you might need to push them, you know, and get them to do it. That's when the mom part comes in. But for example, when Patty said, "Mommy, I want to break from modeling," and she was 6 years old when she told me that. She had been modeling since she was 2. It was like, okay, no problem. Mommy's still gonna model. I'm still gonna do. I'm still. She's like, you are? Yeah. I'm still gonna do my shows, and I'm sure you.
And
you
that's
want
why
to.
we love Adina. And that's why Adina did it.
That's why Adina did it. But for her, it was like, okay, I want to break. So I was like, okay, what do you want to try now? And she was like, dance. And I was, all right, dance it is. You know. So there's a difference between trying to live through your children and just really supporting them and pushing them to follow their dreams. So that's what I would say out there.
I totally agree. About what you guys can expect from our channel. So we've decided we have brought you this channel so we can bring you along our journey and just show you what it is in the day in the life of being a momager. All the crazy events we do, Vegas, Los Angeles, like, there's a lot more coming up soon too.
Absolutely.
So we're going to shoot some behind the scenes footage. We're going to do some interviews with some of the other great momagers that we know from around the block, and on these events we do, we've got to meet a lot of them. And that's not just momagers, dadagers. Anybody who's helping their kids out. We're also going to bring you some great resources on some of these things. So when we meet people along the way, you're going to meet them as well, to have some resources to help your kids out.
Please be sure to subscribe below, right down there, click on the link, and be sure to comment if you guys have any questions. We would love to answer questions. If you have any momager friends out there or dadager friends out there, be sure to comment them below as well, because we would love to connect with different momagers and dadagers around.